figured out.
I'll wait until we...
So we're already underway here in Game 2 of this doubleheader between Humber and Mohawk. As Bree Donaldson is on the mound in Game 2 for the Hawks, and taking strike one after the first pitch missed is the leadoff hitter for Mohawk. That's Becky Rabchuk, playing shortstop here in Game 2. And this ball hit towards third, scooped up over there by Gillingham. She throws to first, and one up, one down here in the top of the first.
Gillingham slides over to third base after playing short in Game 1.
As Julia Catalano is DHing in this game. Saw her make some nice plays over at third in Game 1. So strike one called now to Sarah Bell. Bell playing in center field, played in left in Game 1. She'll be followed by Courtney Lukwicki, first baseman. This ball hit up the middle, and there's a base hit. A one-out single here in the first for Sarah Bell. Miranda Pearson was phenomenal in Game 1. 6 shutout innings, 3 hits allowed, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and didn't have to go back out for the 7th. As Humber was able to add 3 and get the mercy rule. And this ball bounces in the dirt to Courtney Lukwicki.
Pearson has pitched in 2 straight games now, yesterday and today. We'll see if they use her Monday against Seneca.
Ball chopped foul. Tara Camilleri behind the plate again. Saw her also in Game 1. Made a couple of nice plays on pop-ups as well as on a bunt. This pitch floats outside, 2-1 now on Lukwicki. So the same 9 players in the lineup in this game. A little bit of a different defensive alignment as now it's 3-1 on the batter Lukwicki. Mentioned Gillingham slides from short to third. Catalano DHing in this game. Megan Murphy in right field. That's chopped towards the left side. Fielded there. Shortstop to second for one. No relay to first. Caitlin Pittick with the play over to Abby Hill, and they get the 6-4 force. And that is the second out here of the first inning.
Hill thought about going to first, but that runner was already about 3/4 of the way down the line, and better just to hang on to the ball. You don't want to throw it away and give away a base.
Of course, just before we had a chance to tell you about a couple more defensive alignments, we called that play. So Caitlin Pittick, who was in right, she's at short, as this pitch fouled off by Natasha Pacetto. No balls, 1 strike. So Pittick moves from right to short. Megan Murphy was the DH. She's in right. Catalano, who was at third, is DHing. Bonnie Gillingham goes from short over to third. And everybody else in the same position. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Nice stop there by Camilleri. Natalie Stoberman in left. Elisa Gregoris in center. As we told you, Megan Murphy in right. Next pitch, chopped towards this left side and off the glove of the shortstop, Pittick, unable to make the play, and it's first and second with 2 outs.
Tough play for Pittick, that one. Balls on this softball gravel can just kind of die on you, and I think that's what happened on that ground ball out to Pittick. Tried to get her glove down and just couldn't hang on.
And showing bunt and taking a ball in the dirt, another nice stop by Camilleri, is Amy Leduc, the pitcher, batting 5th. Saw her batting 2nd last game. Leduc bats from the left side. And a little half-swing looper to third, and it's caught in foul territory by the third baseman Gillingham. So a threat, but nothing across here in the first for Mohawk. We go to the bottom of the first here at Wildwood Park. It's Mohawk nothing, and Humber coming to bat. I was just like trying to keep up, trying to write all this stuff down, and let's see over there.
Started?
Yeah. Just started. Just putting into full screen.
Stick it aside.
TK Dockstader.
TK Dockstader?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It's a pretty great name.
I wonder what the TK stands for. I'm just trying to set the defense up real quick here. Watson is catching. Day at second. Luckwicki.
Just like no time to get set up.
McGill in left. Bell in center. And what's the other girl's name? Uchan? Uchan?
Where? Oh, Vashon.
Oh, it's a V.
I think so. Oh, ready?
Yeah. So bottom of the first here, Abby Hill will lead things off for Humber. Ball in the dirt, Amy Leduc. Leduc went the distance in game 1, 10 runs allowed, 8 earned. And she's been the workhorse all year for this Mohawk pitching staff. Behind 1-0 on Abby Hill. And Hill takes a called strike here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Abby Hill had a busy game in game 1, 2 for 4, scored a couple of runs, drove in one, stole a base, and some heads-up plays over at second. 1-1 count now. And his pitch in the dirt almost hit Hill. 2-1. Danielle Watson behind the plate for Mohawk. She was at second base in game 1. Pacetto, the only infielder at the same position, over at third. Two-one pitch. Little fister towards first and a sliding catch. Nice play near the pitcher's mound by the first baseman Luckwicki. Courtney Luckwicki with a nice defensive play. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Laid herself all the way out for that one. Very nice play at first base.
In game 1, we saw Luckwicki over at short. It was Amber Myers at first. Myers not playing here in game 2. So Bonnie Gillingham will be the batter. Gillingham playing third base. And she puts one off the fist, and over to make the catch in foul territory is the catcher Watson. A couple of nice plays, quick reactions from Mohawk players on pop-ups. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. And we saw Tara Camilleri make some nice plays on pop-ups, locating the ball, and Danielle Watson, who was at second base in game 1, finding that ball and pouncing on it for the second out. So quickly 2 up, 2 down, and Elisa Gregoris will be the batter. Had a big game in the first game, a 2-run triple. Was 2 for 3 in that first game. Left-handed batter chops it foul, wide of first. No balls, 1 strike.
Leduc looking to hold Humber off the board here early. Humber, of course, scored 7 over the first 2 innings in game 1.
And Leduc was scoreless between the third and fifth, but then gave up those final 3 runs in the sixth. There's a called strike on Gregoris. And it's 0-2 on Gregoris. Tara Camilleri would follow if Gregoris can reach. 0-2 pitch outside, 1-2. With the loss, Mohawk fell to 6-17, while Humber improved to 12-7 on the year. 1-2 pitch for Gregoris is a called strike 3, and a 1-2-3 inning for Amy Leduc. Here in the first, we go to the top of the second here at Wildwood Park. Mohawk and Humber scoreless. So it's Bree Donaldson, right? Pitching.
You ready?
Yeah.
Ready to go here in the top of the second. No score here, Bree Donaldson. First pitch low. Catcher Danielle Watson stands in. Hits that one on the ground, Gillingham over. Quick throw to Redrup, can't handle it. That ball's into right field, and Watson is going to move up to second on the play. So very quickly, a runner in scoring position here for the Mohawk Mountaineers.
And Gillingham's made some good stops here today, but threw one away in game one from short, and we see her throwing it wide of Hillary Redrup here in game two. Another throwing error for Bonnie Gillingham.
I don't think she realized just how much time she had to make that play, rush the throw a little bit. She didn't have to. And now, after not scoring a run in game one, Mountaineers threatening here with nobody out. That ball misses. It's 1-1 to TK Dockstader. Hitting 200 on the air. Swings at that one. Fouls it off, 1-2. On deck is left fielder Steph McGill. Donaldson winds, fires. One in a little bit high to Dockstader, 2-2. Two from Donaldson. That one's hit out to short. On to first base. Redrup has it. Danielle Watson is going to move up to third on the play. One down here in the second.
Yeah, and Pittock actually, if she wanted to, probably could have tried to get Watson in a rundown. Was right in front of her, but chose to throw it over to first, and a heads-up play by Watson to break for third.
So McGill stands in, takes ball one low. Hitting 118. We talked about it already. The depth in this Humber lineup, production 1 through 9, not really the case here with the Mountaineers. McGill hitting 118 at 211 on base, looking for really any kind of a hit here. Bring home that runner from third.
Well, even a fly ball to the outfield would do the trick at this point.
Donaldson ready, she fires. That one's in there for a strike, 1-1. Donaldson looking to strand that base runner. In there for a strike, 1-2. Of course, Watson reached on an error, and Donaldson with the strikeout of McGill. That'll bring up Rochelle Day. Big strikeout there with a runner on third base.
And Steph McGill way out in front of that pitch.
Rochelle Day, the second baseman, slices that one foul third base side. What a time this would be for her first base hit of the season. I think just psychologically, after being shut out in game one, getting the first run here would be a big boost to this Mohawk team. Donaldson trying to prevent that. Here's the 0-1. On the ground, the squeeze play. I think that's going to roll foul. It does, up along the third baseline quickly. 0-2 on the batter Day.
And I want to say Donaldson changing speeds, but really just doesn't throw as hard as Pearson. And it looks like these Mohawk hitters a little bit out in front, maybe trying to cheat a little bit on Bree Donaldson's pitches.
A Day in a hole here early, 0-2. 2 outs, runner on third. Donaldson home, popped up. Great grab behind home plate by Tara Camilleri. That'll end the threat, so Mountaineers put a runner on, get her over to third base, but can't convert. And go to the bottom of the second. It's still Humber nothing, the Mountaineers nothing.
So it was an E5, right?
Yeah, I don't know why I put down the double.
It's a little league double, but
yeah.
Both catchers making nice little catches on pop-ups. That's tough to do, man.
So LeDuc didn't hit them, right?
No, she popped out.
Did she?
She fouled out.
I guess I missed it.
Little punch pop-up. That was kind of like the hit she got in game one. She just sort of flicked it the other way. So does it Camilleri, Redrup, and Stoverman?
Yeah.
Got to get a couple bites of a sub in here. Not to mention blow my nose as hard as I can so I don't have to do it while we're on the game.
Yeah.
Sniffles McGee over here. Scruff McGruff.
Bottom of the second here at Wildwood, it'll be Tara Camilleri to lead things off for the Hawks. Hawks went 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Did that just once last game in facing the same pitcher, so they're already very familiar with Amy LeDuc. Camilleri went 2 for 3 in game 1, hit a sac fly, 2 RBIs in that game. It'll be Camilleri, Redrup, and Stoberman for the Hawks. They're 4, 5, and 6. That one hit on the ground, diving attempt by Day at second, but that one's into right field. Base hit for Tara Camilleri.
Breaks up the brief perfect game for Amy LeDuc.
Redrup 1 for 4 in game 1, had a double, reached twice on errors. Stands in against LeDuc. Takes high, that ball right to the backstop, right back to the catcher, quickly throw down to second. And Camilleri is in there easily, but that ball rebounded really quickly off the backstop, and I thought for a second that the catcher Watson might have a play. But Humber, with nobody out, has a runner in scoring position.
Just as Mohawk did in the top half and didn't score.
Here's the 1-0 to Redrup. That one in there, ball dropped, and Camilleri thought about it, but she'll scamper back to second base. Quickly 2-0 on Hillary Redrup. She'll be followed by Natalie Stoberman. LeDuc comes set. 2-0, and Redrup helping her out a little. Swings at that ball in the dirt. It's 2-1.
You could argue that Redrup had the most important at bat of game 1. Just a little pop-up in the infield that went for a 2-run error.
That was in the first inning, and it was all the Hawks needed, as the Mountaineers didn't score a run, and a 10-0 Humber victory. Now 3-1 to Redrup. Runner on second is Camilleri. LeDuc still looking for the first out of the inning. That one comes across. Redrup swings for strike 3, which is going to make it down to first base on the dropped strike 3. It's a tough one to swallow if you're Amy LeDuc. A tough day already, and of course, on the throw to first base, Camilleri is going to move up to third.
And that probably goes a pass ball for Watson. She just dropped it and couldn't recover in time to throw out Redrup.
So Stoberman with an RBI single in game 1. She also walked. It was 1 for 3. She comes in hitting .345. 9 RBIs, and she's got a couple of ways to bring one in here with runners on the corners, nobody out. LeDuc comes over, slash to third. Good grab by the third baseman over to second today, and she's going to eat that one. So a fielder's choice, and Camilleri will come across an RBI for Natalie Stoberman.
An absolute rocket. What a grab by Pacetto at third. Made a play like that in game 1 and got a fielder's choice in the second inning. And that was more, did she find the ball or did the ball find her? But either way, a great stab and a big first out for Mohawk.
I'll bring up Julia Catalano. She's DHing today for Humber. That one in the dirt. The catcher Watson very busy for the Mountaineers early. Lots of balls in the dirt. A couple up over her head. One out here in the second. Humber has a run across on that fielder's choice from Natalie Stoberman. Stoberman at first. Looks like she's running on the pitch, but fouled off by Julia Catalano.
And Catalano was a catalyst in game 1. Got that big 5-run rally in the second started by drawing a leadoff walk. So singled and stole a base. Hit by a pitch last game, and good defense over at third.
Here comes LeDuc. This time Stoberman not going. Catalano comes in hitting .277. A couple of triples on the year. Trying to keep things going in the second. There goes Stoberman, and again, with Stoberman going, Catalano fouls it off first base side, so Stoberman has to jog on back to first base.
Yeah, don't want to tire your runner out. Catalano fouling a couple off with Stoberman on the move.
So they count even to Catalano, 2-2. We'll see if Stoberman's going again. She is. Here we go. That one is hit. That one's going to get over the second baseman, Day, and into right field. So Stoberman very easily over to third base. Of course, she was on the move. Catalano with the single. Humber once again with runners on the corners here, this time with one out. That'll bring up Megan Murphy, right fielder today. Murphy went 1 for 3 in game one, had a single and came around to score.
And that's where starting the runner really helps. Stoberman able to go first to third on that single.
Murphy comes in hitting .333, takes low there, ball one. Playing right field today after DHing in the first game. Leduc trying to minimize the damage here. She does have one out. Comes home low. And Catalano moves up to second base. So Humber now, runners at second and third here with just one away.
What we've seen this year, almost an automatic steal when you have first and third.
Swing and no, not a foul tip. Coming home is Stoberman. She's safe at home plate. Bit of an odd play there. Murphy swings right through it. I thought it was a foul tip, but it gets by the catcher. Stoberman comes home. 2-0 Humber Hawks.
Yeah, pitch was high. Unable to corral it was Watson. Back to the backstop, had a play at the plate. But Stoberman able to beat it and get that second run in.
So the count 2-1 to Murphy. Catalano moves up to third base on that pass ball. Here's the 2-1. That's in high, 3-1. Here comes Leduc. That one's low. Humber again with runners on the corners as Murphy jogs on down to first base with the walk. It'll be Caitlin Pittick, the shortstop, standing in here. She's hitting ninth today. 1 for 4 last game with a single. Also scored after hitting into a fielder's choice. Going from first base, throw down to second, safe. And Catalano's going to come around from from third base. Excellent throw from Watson down to second, but the throw a little bit in front of Day. Rochelle Day had to kind of go to her knee to pick that one up, and in the process, was unable to apply the tag to Megan Murphy.
Once again, that first and third situation, runner breaks, and this time the runner from third able to break home. Catalano heads up and brings in that third run of the inning.
Duke winds. That one low. Pittick comes in hit to the weekend hitting .400 with 4 RBIs. So 2 outs here, but a runner on second. Pittick looking for a big 2-out hit here to extend that Humber lead. They've already scored 3 in the inning. 1 out here in the second. That pitch high from Leduc. Count 3-1. Leduc winds. Here's the pitch. That one hit well foul down the third base side. So the count full to Caitlin Pittick. Strikeout situation here for Amy Leduc with that runner on second. And just 1 away in the second.
And if you're Amy Leduc, you're thinking, what else do I have to do? You get a strikeout, but there's a pass ball. Run comes in on a wild pitch, a double steal.
And that one pops off the glove of the catcher Watson and Familiar refrain here in the second inning. Runners on the corners. Megan Murphy will move up to third base. Pittock takes first on the walk. It's 2 walks here in the inning and 2 singles. That'll bring up leadoff hitter Abby Hill. Popped up to first in the first inning.
And just you keep thinking about that strikeout that Redrup able to reach on the pass ball, kind of a microcosm of what we've seen from Mohawk here today. Just cannot get things right.
Hill 2 for 4 in game 1, an RBI. She takes strike 1. Humber looking to add here. They scored 7 over the first 2 in game 1. They've already got 3 here, and they're threatening again. Runners at first and third. That one chopped in front of home plate. Out comes the catcher, Watson, throwing the dirt. Nice pick by the first baseman, Lukowicki there, for the second out. But another Humber run comes across. That's Megan Murphy scoring on the ground out. Abby Hill will pick up an RBI, and it's 4-0 Humber.
And amazing on a ball that traveled about 5 feet, able to get an RBI.
Ella Duke misses with her first pitch to Bonnie Gillingham. So Pittock moves up to second, another Humber runner in scoring position. They've scored 4 here in the bottom of the second. A 1-0 misses high, 2-0. Gillingham, and if she can get on, she'll be followed by Elisa Gregoris. Humber went 1-2-3 in the first. 2 base hits, 2 walks. A couple of misplays. Throw down to third. And Watson dropped that ball, and it allows Caitlin Pittock to move up to third base. And Watson, who's had trouble handling LeDuc's pitches all game, looks like she's going to go and change her catcher's mitt. Might be trading it in for her regular mitt there. Sometimes you see players who don't catch a lot have some trouble handling balls with that catcher's mitt. I wonder if that's what's happening here.
Well, not going well. Blame it on the glove. That's the second pass ball of this inning for Danielle Watson. Really tough going here behind the plate for her.
So 2 outs, runner on third. That one skied on the infield. LeDuc coming in. This time she's got it for the third out, but Humber pushes 4 across in the bottom of the second. They lead it here 4-0 over the Mohawk Mountaineers.
Oh, okay, good. I got to take a couple bites of my slug too. So they get 4 that inning. Woo!
Everybody playing at a position, I kind of wonder if it's like I heard them saying it's their last game of the season. I wonder if they just everyone's just playing whatever the heck they want to play.
Mm-hmm. For that movement.
Yeah.
Who do we play tomorrow?
Seneca.
Seneca?
Yeah.
Is that one that was rained out before?
It was rained out a little bit, like not the one that was rained out on Thursday. It was rained out a couple of weeks ago.
No, but they're like it's a...
Yeah.
Good game? All right. Top of the third here. Wildwood Park. Humber leading game 2 4-0. They won game 1 10-0. And a called strike on Becky Rabchuk, leadoff hitter. 1-2-3 here in the top of the third for Mohawk. That's inside 1-1. Bree Donaldson on the mound. Miranda Pearson, 6 shutout innings in game 1. Humber winning that one with ease, 10-0 on the Mercy Rule. This one misses high. An opportunity to score in the second. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. But Mohawk unable to get that run in. A strikeout and a pop-up induced by Donaldson. That one's pulled foul. So it'll be 1-2 on Becky Rabchuk. Rabchuk was in center field in Game 1, playing short here in Game 2. Grounded out to third to open this game up. 14 runs scored here in the 2 games, and 9 of them have been scored in second innings. 5 in Game 1, 4 here in Game 2. Next pitch, that's line down the left field line. That's going to get in for a base hit. Stoberman with a sliding stop and a nice play out there, and that will keep Rabchuk at first base with just a single. So third base hit of this game for Mohawk. A sharp single to left, and credit Stoberman for a sliding stop to keep that from going for extra bases.
Yeah, it definitely looked like extra bases off the bat. Stoberman, though, got over quickly.
And she plays pretty close to the line. And now a lefty at the plate, Sarah Bell. That pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Bell singled in the first. Bell singled with 1 out. Natasha Pacetto had a 2-out single, but Amy Leduc popped out with a couple of runners on. Next pitch, chopped to the right side. Hill has it. She'll shuffle it over to short for 1. No relay. As getting down the line quickly was Bell. Pittock thought about it, but didn't attempt the throw. So 4-6 on the fielder's choice, 1 away. Here in the third, as Courtney Lekwicki will be the batter. Ball 1, and Hill has just been very solid over at second. Fundamentally sound, quick hands. Good play there. Not trying to rush and get 2 before she got 1. This ball hit towards third, foul, just wide of the bag, and Gillingham playing right at the bag.
Good defense all around. We've seen Gillingham maybe rush a couple of throws today, but overall some solid defense from the Humber Hawks.
Gillingham pretty much playing on the bag. This ball looped out towards second. It's going to bounce in front of Hill, and she's going to underhand shuffle it to Pittock for the force out. So another 4-6 fielder's choice, and that's the second out here in the third. More of a pop-up than a ground out. It'll go in the books as a ground out, but it was a little looper, and Hill played it on a bounce and flipped it to Pittock to get the force on Sarah Bell. So Lekwicki now at first, and Pacetto first ball swinging, grounds it to third. Gillingham across. And are they saying that that was a foul ball? No, they are not, even as Mohawk argued. So it's a ground out to third, and that's the inning. Leadoff single, but no further damage. After 2.5 here at Wildwood Park, it's Humber 4, Mohawk nothing. She thought it hit her. It's like, hey, come on, it's freezing out, kid. Get out of here. Please come, Wyoming. Is that what the song is?
No kid here.
No, definitely not Tom Sawyer. Anything but. Maybe LeBron Sawyer. Get another bite or two of this wonderful Subway sub.
Ready?
Yeah. Bottom of the third here at Wildwood Park. Humber leading this second game of a doubleheader, 4-0. They won the first one via the mercy rule, 10-0. So it has been a nice afternoon for the Hawks, coming in 12-7. This is the final game of the season for Mohawk, who is 6-17. And on the mound again, after going the distance in Game 1, Amy Leduc. It'll be the heart of the Hawks order due up. Elisa Gregoris, Tara Camilleri, and Hillary Redrup, 3-4-5. Gregoris took a called third strike in the first inning, the only strikeout of the game thus far for Leduc. Left-handed batter, Gregoris. Had a big game in Game 1. And grounds one to the right side. Second baseman has it. That's Day over to first. And 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Tara Camilleri will be the batter, and she started that 4-run second. She singled, moved up on a wild pitch, and then on a strikeout and passed ball, moved to third, came in on a fielder's choice. That's the kind of day it's been for Mohawk. Runner gets a hit and then comes in to score without needing another base hit. As there's a called strike, 0-1 on Camilleri. Camilleri drove in a couple of runs in game one, catching both games of this doubleheader. The Duke's next offering, that's high, 1-1. Hillary Redrup to follow, and Redrup's at bat was pretty critical in that second inning. It was a strikeout, but a pass ball by Danielle Watson allowed Redrup to reach, and wheels kind of came off as we saw in the second inning of game one as well. 1-1 pitch, a roller to the plate, 2-1. Watson having a tough inning back there. She played second base in the first game, catching here in game two. Couple of pass balls in that inning, couple of wild pitches thrown by Amy LeDuc. Very sloppy inning. Only 2 Humber hits, but they were able to get 4 runs in that frame. LeDuc still sporting the toque here in game two. 2-1 pitch. That's popped up in the left. Over is the left fielder McGill. She's under it, makes the catch. And 2 up, 2 down here in the Humber third. So, go ahead, Paul.
You mentioned LeDuc with a tough second inning, but had the Hawks 3 up, 3 down in the first, and close to doing that here in the third. A bit of a better outing for her here in game two.
And she's really had to take the brunt most of these innings this season for Mohawk. First pitch is outside to Hillary Redrup. Redrup struck out, but the ball bouncing away from Watson, and Redrup reached on that pass ball, and that started the big inning for Humber. 4 runs, still up 4-0 here. Is that pitch outside, 2-0 on Redrup. Natalie Stoberman to follow. And you think about the big defensive play made by the third baseman Pacetto to get a force, helping keep things from getting further out of hand in that inning, as that's low, 3-0 on Hillary Redrup. Ball that kind of caught Pacetto more so than the other way around. Able to force out Redrup at second. And considering the way that inning went, big play to kind of keep things in check a little bit for Mohawk. 3-0 to Redrup, taking all the way. It's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk for Hillary Redrup. So she is aboard with 2 outs for Natalie Stoberman. Third walk of the game issued by LeDuc. And it comes here with 2 outs in the third, and Humber leading 4-0. So Stoberman hit a rocket to third, as we mentioned. Pacetto, a really nice play, and was able to get the force, but it did bring home a run, so an RBI for Stoberman, as there's a called strike. Again, Watson dropping the ball, keeping it in front of her, but she's really having a tough time. Already changed out her glove once. Watson, who played second base in the opener of this twin bill. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Stoberman, outside, 1-1. Even more, in fact, we look around, I don't see anybody except the pitcher and the third baseman for Mohawk not wearing something over their orange jerseys. Clearly affected by the cold. Chilly afternoon here. This next one to Stoberman is fouled back out of play. So it's 1-2 now on Natalie Stoberman. Stoberman 1 for 3 with a walk in game 1. And it's driven in a run here in game 2. The Duke rocks and deals the 1-2. That gets by the catcher Watson, and it's going to allow Redrup to move up into scoring position. Another wild pitch, and more struggles behind the plate for Danielle Watson.
Well, you mentioned the cold, Mike. That has to affect the pitcher more than almost any other player on the field. Constantly with your hand exposed, and when your fingers get cold and a little bit numb, it's really hard to grip that ball and have it come off your fingers the way you want it to.
So 2-2 the count on Stoberman. The Duke blowing on that pitching hand. Now back onto the rubber. Redrup at second base now with 2 outs. Next offering bounces, and this time Watson able to stop it. Ball a good 2 or 3 feet in front of the plate. So there Watson makes a nice stop. And the count is full on Stoberman with Redrup at second base. Leduc's 3-2 pitch. That's grounded to third, knocked down, and now heading for third, but not realizing it was not a force, not applying the tag. Now the throw back to first, and the tag on Stoberman, and she's safe. A lot going on in that play. That was a ball hit to the third baseman, Pacetto. It kicked away from her. Redrup broke for third, and then not realizing that she needed to tag Redrup, Pacetto just touched the base. Actually would have had a chance to get Redrup out. Then she threw back to first, hoping to catch Stoberman. So after all of that is an infield hit and runners at the corners with 2 outs for Julia Catalano. And now taking off is Stoberman. Ball bounces to Watson. She's not even going to throw through. So Stoberman up to second and a couple of runners in scoring position here with 2 outs.
I think Pacetto saw Redrup coming and assumed that, Redrup didn't go into a slide or anything and assumed that, well, if she's coming, it must be a force out. And you're right, just stepped on the bag and Redrup in there before the tag.
Next one bounces in to Catalano, 2-0. Julia Catalano, the designated hitter in this game, played third base in the opener, singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the second. It just not heads-up play by Mohawk, not really knowing the situation or whether it's a force or not. Next one to Catalano is fouled back off the screen.
Well, so much of this game is played between your ears. Be aware always of who's on base and how many outs there are and where you're going to go in any kind of situation. And they're right now hanging Amy Leduc out to dry here in Game 2.
Now, what did Yogi Berra say? 90% of the game is 50% mental. It's been less than that here today for Mohawk. Next one to Catalano is inside. And Leduc just really fighting it. Seems like she's making some pitches. Defense kind of, as you said, Paul, hanging her out to dry a little bit. So it's 3-1 on Catalano. Megan Murphy to follow. If Catalano can reach, here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's fisted out towards the middle of the diamond, and it's going to get by the reaching second baseman Day, and 2 runs are going to score. Redrup is in, Stoberman right behind her, and the mental mistake cost Mohawk another 2 runs, and it is 6-0 Humber.
Well, I spoke too soon. It looked like Leduc was headed for another quiet inning, but the walk to Redrup with 2 outs and then the fielder's choice that the Mountaineers can't execute. All of a sudden, 2 runs come across here in the third, and Humber looking to pull away again here in Game 2.
Yeah, 6-0 now here in this third inning, and Catalano just kind of fisting that ball out right beyond the reach of Rochelle Day and picks up 2 RBIs. So here's Megan Murphy. She takes a strike, 0-1. And Catalano's kind of been in the middle of everything here today. Had a big game in the first game. On base 3 times in that game. Also stole a base. 2 for 2 here today. Runs scored. A couple of runs batted in. Next pitch to Murphy. Off the shin guard of Watson down to second. And making it is Catalano. So another runner in scoring position here. Yet another wild pitch, or some variation of that, as Watson was unable to corral it. So Catalano at second now for Megan Murphy, who walked, stole a base, and scored in the second, and takes a called strike there. So it's 1-2 now on Murphy. Humber already up 6-0 here in the third and looking for more. Next one is outside to Murphy, so it'll be 2-2. Murphy batted 9th in the first game. Caitlin Pittick was 8th. They have flip-flopped spots in the batting order here in Game 2, with Murphy hitting 8th and Pittick batting 9th. Murphy was the only hitter on Humber that did not get 4 plate appearances in Game 1. And this ball hit the first and fielded by Lekwicki. She'll take it to the bag herself. And that ends the inning, but not before a couple of runs come in. And after 3 here at Wildwood Park, it's Humber 6 and Mohawk nothing.
Just brutal.
Just terrible. They got, another 2 runs on 2 hits. You see a lot of that, like our box scores were like more runs than hits in a lot of these games.
Yeah.
Just sloppy, ugly defense.
Okay, so what did Vachon hit? Did I miss that?
Vachon. Let me see. No, she doesn't hit. She's the
They had her list, so who's in right field then?
No, Vachon's
she's
in
in right
right,
field,
but
but she's
the
not
hitter
right. Okay.
is pitcher is hitting. Sorry.
It's confusing as hell.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't like it.
No. Here's what I'm doing with it. All right, it's the fourth inning. I'm gonna sub. Let's just get another Mercy in. It's not damn. Nice to hear some rap song from our generation. Early millennials. What year did you graduate high school?
2006.
Okay.
So we move to the top of the fourth here. Mountaineers looking to get something done against Humber pitching. They didn't score a run in game one, shut out 10-0. Nothing to show so far here against Bree Donaldson, who comes in with a first pitch strike. She is facing her counterpart, Amy LeDuc. LeDuc hitting .314 coming in. That one bounced to the plate. It's 1-1. Humber up 6-0 here. It's getting 2 in the bottom of the third.
It's so nice for a pitcher, Bree Donaldson, to be able to work with a big lead.
That one bounced right back to Donaldson. Throw on to Redrup. One down quickly here in the fourth. Both those Humber runs in the third came with 2 outs, a walk to Redrup, and then a fielder's choice and error on the third baseman, Paceto. And then the big 2-run single from Julia Catalano. In steps the right-handed hitter, Danielle Watson. Swings and fouls that. Nice grab by Camilleri. Quickly 2 gone. I didn't think she had a play on that. That was fouled back off the bat of Watson, and Camilleri alertly throws off the mask and reaches back and pulls it in for the second out.
Well, Watson's had a tough day behind the plate, but her counterpart there, Camilleri, showing good reflexes, going and getting that ball off the bat of Watson.
In steps T.K. Doxtater. Takes strike 1. Donaldson has given up just 2 hits. Has not walked the batter. Gets a swinging strike there on that ball in the dirt. Quickly ahead, 0-2.
Only threat Mohawk had came because of an error.
A 2-strike pitch. That one's hit. Looks like that one's going to drop just in behind the second baseman, Abby Hill. So, third base hit of the day. And it comes off the bat of T.K. Doxtater. 1 on with 2 outs here in the fourth.
And an 0-2 pitch just left up in the zone by Donaldson. Doxtater able to get a bat on it and get it over the head of the second baseman, Hill.
So in steps Steph McGill, hitting 118. She swings through a pitch there, strike 1. Haven't seen very much of a running game. That one's fouled off from Mohawk. Just kind of surprising that you wouldn't try to maybe manufacture a couple of runs, because it doesn't look like they'll come any other way today. So Donaldson up 0-2 on McGill. That one slashed foul down the third baseline, so we'll reset and do it again.
McGill struck out her first time up, the only strikeout that Bree Donaldson has here through 3 2/3. And you're right, Paul, not a lot of opportunities for Mohawk, and a little surprising not to see them try and force the issue a little bit just to get something going offensively.
The 0-2, that one's in the dirt. Taking off for second base is Doxtater. That throw down to second is in the dirt, and it's going to skip past the shortstop Pittick, but the center fielder Gregoris into cover, and that'll keep the runner at second base.
Sure enough, being aggressive there was Doxtater.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a foul tip, just staying alive is McGill. Of course, Donaldson and Vandegraff combined to hold Conestoga to just 2 runs yesterday in Game 2 of that doubleheader against Conestoga. Humber winning that one 13-2. A 1-2 again from Donaldson. Swing! And no foul tip. I don't think a strikeout there, but McGill gets a piece, so we'll reset and do it again. Donaldson the 1-2, fouled off again. Good at bat here by McGill. Not making great contact, but staying alive against Donaldson.
Donaldson, a little bit on the smaller side, but she's got also a very active delivery, and I think she's getting hitters out in front because the velocity doesn't quite match what you'd expect from that kind of delivery.
Oh, and looked like she might have frozen McGill there, but that one I think tailed outside 2-2. Good point, Mike. That arm action does make the ball look like it should be flying out of her hand, but doesn't quite have the speed. Strike 3. Dropped by Camilleri. She'll throw in a red drop to complete the strikeout. That'll do it for the Mountaineers here in the 4th. So we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Humber 6, Mountaineers 0 here at Wildwood Park.
It's like their first step is like so quick, and then they got to like double clutch when they
Yeah,
swing
no,
because
really
she's like jumping at the hitters almost. A lot of pitching is, sometimes deception. I'm gonna run and toss this real quick. Just realized this, who's on the Royals. Remember Johnny Gomes?
Yeah.
Won World Series with the Red Sox. Okay.
Hey, let's finish it up a little early.
Oh, you got this one?
So we are halfway done here at Wildwood. We're through 3.5. It's Humber 6. The Mountaineers nothing. Humber with 4 in the 2nd. Added 2 more in the 3rd. And they'll look to add a couple more here. It'll be number 9 hitter Caitlin Pittick starting things off. She walked back in the 2nd inning. She'll be followed by Abby Hill and Bonnie Gillingham. Cold fall day here at Wildwood Park in Mississauga.
To take it back again? You guys have to take it back?
Comes Amy LeDuc, and that one's low, scooped nicely by the catcher Watson. 1-0. Seeing the players try to contend with the cold all day. High ball slapped to short. Throw on to first. Nice stretch by the first baseman, Luckwecky. That was a long throw for the shortstop, Rabchuk, and what a play by Luckwecky to stretch out. Almost did the splits there to come up with that one. 1 out here in the Humber 4th.
Very athletic play by Luckwecky, and as you mentioned, a high pitch swung at by Pittick. Just tomahawk chopped that over to short, and Rabchuk with the throw, and Luckwecky bailing her out with a great stretch.
Abby Hill grounded out in the 2nd, but pushed one across for an RBI. Also popped out to first in the 1st inning.
May have been the shortest ball ever hit for an RBI that we've seen, about 3 feet in front of the plate, and the runner broke home on that, stealing a run did Megan Murphy.
1-0 from LeDuc. That one popped up on the infield. Shortstop Rabchuk over, doesn't have to move very much. She comes down with it, 2 gone. LeDuc has struggled all day to keep this Humber order in check. Of course, they put up 10 in the first game and 1 via the mercy rule. Those 3 runs coming in the 6th.
Yeah, starting this game with a 1-2-3 inning.
As Gillingham takes that one a long way to left, and the left fielder, McGill, goes over, maybe in foul territory. Tough to tell from here, but either way, 3 up, 3 down for the Hawks in the 4th. We'll move to the 5th. Humber up 6-0.
Nice quick inning.
What did Hill do?
Hill popped out to short. Switch this up. All right, so what do they have? Day, Rabchuk, and Bell. cold out.
It's just because we're sitting down.
Sitting, yeah, we're not doing anything.
Even just between innings, just walking to get a sub, I was fine. The second you sit down,
Yeah.
it's not much
Do that after
colder.
this half inning.
Ready to go?
Yeah. Top 5 here at Wildwood Park. Humber leading Mohawk 6-0. Second game of a doubleheader. Humber winning the first game by the mercy rule in the 6th inning, 10-0. Bree Donaldson on the mound has been pretty much cruising through 4, and a ground ball right back to Donaldson off the bat of Rochelle Day. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
It was a cold one already today, but we've lost the sun behind an overcast sky here at Wildwood, and it's even chillier now. Players contending with the cold all day. Lots of the Mountaineers wearing jackets and toques.
We're doing our best here to stay warm, but of course being stationary is a bit of a struggle as Becky Rabchuk, the leadoff hitter, stands in. Takes ball 1. She's 1 for 2, singled in the 3rd.
Seen Amy Leduc out there trying to warm up that pitching hand all game. Donaldson, though, cruising here so far.
He's allowed 4 hits, but no runs. And this ball hit out in the right center field, and it's going to drop, and it's going to get by the center fielder, Loris Murphy, there to back it up. On her way to second and in with a 1-out double is Becky Rabchuk, her second hit of the game. And Mohawk gets a runner in scoring position here with 1 out in the top of the 5th.
Gregors didn't do a great job judging that one. He gets under her glove, and it allows Rabchuk to move up to second base.
And kind of took a circuitous route to that ball and then unable to cut it off. Nice job by Megan Murphy, the right fielder, backing up as Rabchuk ends up with a double. And here's a ground ball past Abby Hill off the bat of Sarah Bell in the right field, and being held at third is Rabchuk, and now almost breaking for second, but holding at first is Bell. So a sharply hit ball off the glove of Hill in the right. Bell is aboard. 2 straight hits here with 1 out, and something cooking for Mohawk. Runners at the corners with 1 away for Courtney Luckwicki.
That ball was hit so hard that Hill didn't have much of a chance to come up with it, but as a result, you're right. Rabchuk has to hold up at third base.
So Luckwicki, the batter, 0 for 2, and she grounds one to the shortstop, firing over to first, and in time, Caitlin Pittick, a nice play. A run does score as Mohawk has its first run of the afternoon. But more importantly, Pittick makes the play, the long throw for the out. That's the second out of the inning. Bell moves up to second as Rabchuk comes in. 6-1 now, Humber leading.
Mohawk with their first run of the day.
And what a relief it must be. Shut out the first game and nothing through 4 innings here in this one. But able to get one across. And this ball hit well off the bat of Pacetto. It's over the head of Stoberman. It's going to score Bell. And pulling up into second base with an RBI double is Natasha Pacetto, and it's 6-2 Humber.
And you wonder if the Mountaineers have picked up on something. I'm pretty sure that's 4 straight batters swinging on the first pitch, all of them making solid contact. And they have their first 2 runs of the game. All of a sudden, this is a baseball game again at 6-2.
And a meeting on the mound here, you're right. Nothing cheap here. Hard hit balls. 3 of the last 4 batters with base hits. A couple of extra base hits. And Donaldson, who was getting a lot of awkward swings, in part because of her wild delivery. The timing here has been picked up a little bit by Mohawk. So it's 6-2. Here's Amy Leduc. She's 0 for 2. Runner at second, 2 outs. It's popped up, and it'll go off out of play on the third base side. Off of a vehicle. So 6-2 game in the 5th. Donaldson working here against her counterpart, Leduc. That pitch is high, 1-1. Pacetto at second. A 1-1 count here. And Donaldson delivers, and that ball's looped out in the left over, and it's going to drop foul in front of Stoberman. Stoberman, who plays so close to the line, so you figure if it drops in, you know it's foul. So it's 1-2, and a chance now maybe with a strikeout to end this inning, but Donaldson has only 1 strikeout in this game. The 1-2 pitch is low, a floater down, and it's 2-2.
Mountaineers came in down 6-0. If they can pick a base hit here, chance to cut that lead in half.
So the 2-2 pitch to Leduc, called strike 3, and indeed Donaldson gets that second strikeout. Mohawk able to push a couple of runs across. We go to the bottom of the 5th here at Wildwood. It's Humber 6, Mohawk 2.
Do you guys have the numbers of the ones who scored the runs?
The number, like the jersey
the
numbers?
jersey numbers.
Yeah,
23
for
and
them.
16.
Yep, 20. No, that's not who's. Wait.
Who scored or who
scored?
drove them in?
Who scored?
Oh, number 2 and number 5.
Okay, thank you so much. It's hard because you can't see the jerseys.
No, I know, because they're not wearing. Yeah, exactly. So, how many hits in that inning? 1, 2, 3. 2 runs, 3 hits. Alright, so 6. Well, Mercy Rule's pretty much out at this point. I'm going to move around for a second.
Sorry.
1 second, let me just switch my scorecards and they can turn it back on. This is the annoying part, just switching the scorecards over.
Yeah.
Good to have a book. Hang on 1 second, let's blow my nose. Sniffles. Bottom 5 here at Wildwood Park. Humber leading game 2, 6-2. Won game 1, 10-0. Heart of the Hawks order due up. Grigoris, Camilleri, and Redrup. Grigoris 0 for 2 here this afternoon in game 2. First pitch is high, ball 1. Grigoris had a big offensive game in the opener. 2 for 3. Couple of runs scored, drove in a couple. Had a big 2-run triple. Amy Leduc on the mound, went the distance in game 1 and has gone the distance thus far here in game 2. 1-0 pitch to Grigoris is high. I think it hit the umpire, 2-0. So Mohawk finally able to get on the board after having been shut out for the first 10 innings of play. A couple of runs coming in on base hits in that top of the 5th, making this a 6-2 game. Reed Donaldson had pretty much cruised through 4 innings, but a little bit of a tough going there in the top of the 5th. And now we'll see if the offense can respond here in the bottom half. This one is swung on and missed. A high pitch chasing out of the zone was Grigoris, and it is 2-2.
Some action in that Humber bullpen, but that could just be a couple of players trying to keep warm down there.
2-2 pitch grounded towards the right side. Up with it is the second baseman, Day, underhand toss. And 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. So Grigoris 0 for 3. Second time she's grounded out to Rochelle Day. And Tara Camilleri will be the batter. Camilleri started the big 4-run second with a single. Scored a run. Flew out to left in the 3rd, so she's 1 for 2 here in this second game. Camilleri catching both games of this doubleheader. First pitch is inside, ball 1. Camilleri had a couple of base hits and a couple of RBIs in game 1. 1 for 2 here in game 2. Hillary Redrup to follow. The 1-0 pitch to Camilleri is low, 2-0. Camilleri's made some good plays behind the plate defensively. 2-0 pitch. That's off the plate. 3-0. Showing some quick reflexes behind the plate. Meanwhile, her counterpart, Danielle Watson, has really struggled. And her struggles have kind of opened the door a little bit offensively for Humber. 3-0 pitch, taking all the way. There's a called strike. 3-1 on Tara Camilleri.
There's 3 walks so far for Leduc, but 2 of those came in that big second inning for Humber.
The 3-1 to Camilleri swung on and missed out in front, and it is 3-2. Leduc not working as quickly as maybe she was in game 1. A little surprising considering how chilly it is. Continues to blow on her pitching hand, trying to keep it warm. It'll be a payoff pitch coming here to Tara Camilleri. The 3-2, and that's hit deep out to right center field. Going back, and that ball is gone. A home run for Tara Camilleri. Just kept carrying out to right center field. Humber indeed gets that run back, or one of the runs back. And Camilleri greeted by her Hawks teammates at home plate. A solo shot, and it's 7-2 Humber.
Well, that one, you could tell it was hit hard off the bat. It looked like it was going to be a little bit too high to carry out over that right field wall, but it just stays up there. Gets out by a couple of feet. Big swing of the bat by Tara Camilleri. 7-2 Humber.
And on a 3-2 pitch, she was waiting for it. Bell and Vachon giving chase and just did clear that fence in right center field. So some excitement, a home run, a trot around the bases for Tara Camilleri, who's had a big afternoon here in both games, really. And now Hillary Redrup will stand in. Struck out, reached on a pass ball as she takes ball one in the second, and then walked and scored in the third. Kind of a strange afternoon for Redrup. She reached base twice via an error in game one, including one that brought home the first 2 runs of the game that would stand up as Humber went on a roll 10-0. The 1-0 pitch again low to Redrup. So some unconventional ways for Hillary Redrup to get on base, but it's been effective, and it's seemed to ignite a few rallies here this afternoon. So a 5-run lead now for Humber, as Mohawk got 2 in the top of the 5th, 1 back so far for Humber in the bottom half. 2-0 to Redrup. There's a called strike, 2-1. Natalie Stoberman on deck.
Still nobody warming in that Mountaineers bullpen. They're going to ride Amy LeDuc right until the very end.
Now, it's really been the theme all year. In the last game of the year now for Mohawk, 2-1 pitches low, 3-1 on Hillary Redrup. And you still hear some buzz from that Humber dugout. A lot of excitement seeing a long home run off the bat of Camilleri. Just did clear that right center field wall. Now 3-1 on Hillary Redrup. Here's the pitch. It's low, ball 4, and Redrup draws a 1-out walk. So she'll trot down to first. Natalie Stoberman will be the batter. 2 plate appearances. She's 1 for 2. Scored a couple of runs. Drove in one on a fielder's choice in the second. Singled, stole a base, and scored in the third. And a visit to the mound for Amy LeDuc here. Just maybe checking on how she's doing as she went 6 innings in game 1, or actually 5+ into the 6th inning before the mercy rule, and pitching into the 5th here.
Has to be tough for LeDuc. As an athlete, you love to play, you love to be in the action as much as possible. But being expected to go 2 complete games, and especially without the run support, just 1 run here over 2 games so far, it's got to be a little bit challenging.
Looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner for Hillary Redrup. Redrup will trot off. It is number 15. That's Taylor Kaufman. So Kaufman will run for Redrup. So there's 1 out and a runner at first. Kaufman running for Redrup. Natalie Stoberman will be the batter, as we told you, 1 for 2. A couple of runs scored, an RBI, a stolen base. 7-2 Humber lead here in the bottom of the 5th in game 2. Humber winning via the mercy rule in game 1, 10-0. First pitch to Stoberman, hit hard on the ground, off the glove of the third baseman, Pacetto, and into left field. Stopping at second base is Kaufman. Stoberman aboard with a sharp single off the glove of the third baseman, Pacetto. Boy, Pacetto has seen some hard hit balls her way at third, hasn't she?
She has, and almost made another play there. That one just hit too hard. Rebounds off her glove and in a shallow left field. She's played about as good a third base as you can play, but some really tough balls hit her way.
So Julia Catalano stands in. She's 2 for 2, scored a run, driven in a couple swings at a pitch in the dirt, 0-1. Catalano DHing here in game 2. On base 3 times in game 1, a base hit, a walk, a hit by pitch, stole a base. Has a stolen base here in this, actually 2 stolen bases, had the double steal and scored a run. This one grounded back to the mound. LeDuc will go to first. The 2 runners will move up. So 1-3 on the putout, but Catalano able to advance the runners, so 2 in scoring position now with 2 outs for Megan Murphy.
That ball just about on the ground when Catalano got to it, golfed it right to the pitcher, LeDuc.
One of the more underappreciated things, the productive outs. And again, LeDuc had her mind made up that she was going to go to first, even in a forced situation, so it's a second and third situation and a called strike on Megan Murphy. Walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the second, grounded out in her last at-bat in the third. Chance to drive home a pair here, perhaps, with a base hit. Humber leading this one 7-2. The 0-1 pitch is low, 1-1. Murphy getting the start in right. She DH'd in game 1 and batted 9th. Flip-flopping spots in the order with Caitlin Pittick. And Pittick was in right in game 1, and she's playing short here in game 2. The 1-1 pitch to Murphy. There's a called strike, catches the outside corner at the knees, and it's 1-2. So Kaufman, the pinch runner, at third. Stoverman at second. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Murphy. That's way high, and a nice grab there by Danielle Watson. So it's 2-2 on Megan Murphy, left-handed batter. Be followed by Caitlin Pittick. LeDuc ready to deal the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. So Humber gets 1 on the long home run by Tara Camilleri. We go to the 6th here at Wildwood Park. It's Humber 7, Mohawk 2. Wanted to have a really good home run call, but just never expect the ball to actually go out.
I didn't think that was going out.
No. I knew it was hit pretty well, though. I was like, man, it's hit to the gap.
I just thought it was one of those moon shots that, like...
Yeah, that just, they wouldn't catch,
down.
yeah. 2.
I know, you've been on the play-by-play thing for all 5 home runs.
Yeah, have I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
All
right. The
4
3-run yesterday, that's right. And not one of them has been clean. It's always like, and is it going to go? It's a pop-up to short, and it's gone.
It was the one yesterday where the guy pulled it. You knew that one.
Yeah, that one you knew was hit well, yeah. Imagine, he pops it up to the catcher, and look at it, still drifting. That's going to get out. So 7-2. So Mercy Rule's probably out of the equation at this point.
Is there any defensive switch?
I don't know, with Kaufman.
For red drip?
No, and I'm assuming it's Kaufman.
Oh, we've got a new pitcher. I think it's Vandegraff.
Is it? Is 13 Vandegraff?
Yes. 7-2?
Yeah. Wait, so it's Vandegraff?
Yes.
So Donaldson goes 5. So I guess, and what, you only have to go 4 for a win in college?
I'm not sure.
I would assume.
Yeah, you would think so.
I'll tally up the line on Donaldson while you're
Yeah, sure.
doing the play-by-play. Let me figure this out. So she gave up... Wow, she actually gave up 7 hits. Surprising. 2 runs, but 7 hits. Assuming they were both earned. 8 walks. Let's see. She didn't issue any walks.
No?
Nope.
Nice.
No walks, 2 strikeouts. So 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts.
So a new pitcher in for the Hawks. It'll be Amanda Vandegraff taking over for Bree Donaldson. The 2 of them combined to hold the Conestoga Condors. Just 2 runs in the second game of that doubleheader yesterday. Humber winning 13-2. Vandegraff will face Watson, Doc, Tater, and McGill. That first pitch low for ball 1.
Donaldson going 5 innings, giving up 7 hits, but only the 2 runs. Didn't walk a batter, perhaps the most important stat, and struck out 2.
That pitch hit right through the infield. Picked out by the center fielder Gregoris, and Watson is on base here. And TK Dockstader comes to the plate. The DH today.
Jumping on the first pitch there by Amanda Vandegraff. Watson being aggressive, even down 5 runs.
That one's low, ball 1. Vandegraff, 12 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 23 hits. That one's in there for a strike, 1-1. He's pitched to an ERA of 6.08. 11 strikeouts. 7 walks. That's a swinging strike there, 1-2. Humber up 7-2 here in the 6th. The Mountaineers struck for their first 2 runs of the doubleheader back in the 5th. Strike 3. The throw back to first. Just missing the runner Watson, who was cheating a little bit towards second. So Dox Tater strikes out, 1 gone here in the 6th. That'll bring up Steph McGill. McGill struck out in the 2nd and 4th, looking for her first base hit of the ball game.
Just an uncomfortable at bat there by TK Dockstader.
1-0 to McGill. That one, grounder off the ground in front of home plate, killing a couple of worms there. Vandegraff will throw on to first base to get McGill. 2 down here in the 6th.
That's the first time that McGill has put a ball in play, struck out her first 2 at-bats, and that one going about 20 feet.
So Watson moves up to second, runner in scoring position for the Mountaineers as they try to cut into that Humber lead. With the number 9 hitter, Rochelle Day. 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to the pitcher in her last at-bat, and she's looking for her first base hit of the season here in the Mountaineers' final game. That one bounced to the plate. Good block there, though, by Camilleri. She's played good defense all day there, back behind home plate. Coming down with a couple of tough foul outs there. 1-0 is high, 2-0 now. Seven to 2 Humber. Vandegraff in to try to finish this one off. Falls behind here, 3-0 now to Rochelle Day. Humber played 2 yesterday, splitting a doubleheader with Conestoga. 2 today here against Mohawk. 3-0 in there for a strike, and they'll play 2 more against the Seneca Sting tomorrow. Both those games are home games here at Wildwood Park, and then you'd think that 3-1 pitch in there at the knees, good pitch from Vandegraff. You'd think that you have to make up those 2 games that were rained out against Durham at some point before the championship tournament gets underway on Thursday. 3-2 pitch, swing, and a ball hit to left. Stoberman, no time, she's going to bobble it. And a 3rd run's going to score, throw to second. Safe in at second is Rochelle Day. What a time to come up with her first base hit of the season. Drives in a run. That's Danielle Watson coming in to score, and it's 7-3 Humber.
And a heads-up play by Rochelle Day, not only getting that base hit, driving the run in, but on the throw home, going for second, even though Redrup cut that ball, able to beat the throw and get into second.
First pitch to Rabchuk in low. Rabchuk today, 2 for 3. Meeting at the mound here between Camilleri and Vandegraff. Rabchuk 1 for 3 in game 1 with a single. She's got a runner out there at second base. Trying to chip away at that Humber lead. That one hit back to Vandegraff. Very alertly picks it up. Goes to first, and that'll do it. So the Mountaineers get a run, but that's all. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Humber 7, Mohawk 3 here at Wildwood Park.
It's her first hit of the season? Mm-hmm. Batting 0-0-0. It's not
only
even
24 at-bats.
Still. That's like Josh Hamilton in the playoffs bad right there.
She did have an RBI, presumably on a ground out, but
it's like in that movie Major League. He's 0 for 40 against this guy, but he has a couple of foul tips. Hey, good for her. You don't want to take the collar the whole season. You know?
Yeah.
Get that average up to 040. 1 for 25. That ball was actually, Vandergraaf was lucky. That almost hit her. Just reflexes. Alright, so, you got this one bottom 6. Let me just stretch it.
Bottom of the 6th here at Wildwood. Humber up 7-3 over the Mohawk Mountaineers. Amy Leduc still in the ball game for the Mountaineers. Looks like she's going to go the distance. It'll be Pittock, Hill, and Gillingham to start for Humber. Teams traded runs in the 5th. Humber's run came in the bottom of the 5th on that Tara Camilleri home run to right center. And then on the top of this inning, Mountaineers got one back on an RBI double from Rochelle Day.
7 runs over 3 different innings. The other 2 innings for Leduc have been 1-2-3 frames.
Here's the 1-0 from Leduc. That one rolls in the dirt, bounces up and hits Pittock, so she'll take first base. That'll bring up the second baseman, Abby Hill. She's played some great defense out at second today. Had an RBI and a ground out back in the second. Was also 2 for 4 in game 1. Takes strike 1. Humber up 7-3. Pretty comfortable lead here in the 6th, but you'd love to tack on 1 or 2 more just in case. Things can change in a hurry in a softball game.
Nobody warming in that bullpen.
Pitches upstairs. Now it looks like it'll be Vandergraaf the rest of the way for Humber. Meanwhile, they try to add here in the 6th. Rolls that one. Good scoop and the throw down to first. In the dirt, but blocked nicely by the first baseman, Luckowicki. Abby Hill steps back in. Leduc winds, comes home. That one hit hard to center field. Good grab out there by the center fielder, Bell. Should relay that back in as Caitlin Pittock has to run back to first base.
That ball hit right on the nose by Abby Hill, but heads-up play charging in by Bell to make that grab.
So instead of Bonnie Gillingham, the third baseman, 0 for 3 today. On a good weekend overall. She'll hit that one on the ground past the third baseman and into left field. Base hit as Gillingham picks up her first base hit of the day.
And that was past the reach of Pacetto, but didn't really move, just kind of stuck her glove out, hoping to catch it. Didn't show very much range there, and a base hit for Gillingham.
Looked like it froze her a little bit. It'll bring up Elisa Grigoris. Grigoris 0 for 3 today, or rather in game 2 after going 2 for 3 in game 1 with 2 RBIs. Here comes Leduc in there for a strike. Humber with runners at first and second. Pittock hit by a pitch to start. Moved to second on the Gillingham single. Now Gregor stands in. A dangerous hitter for Humber in that 3 spot. Pops this one up. Shortstop going back. In comes the left fielder, McGill. She'll make the play. 2 outs here in the Humber 6th.
And we've seen some interesting plays between infielders and outfielders at all levels of baseball this weekend, but nice job by McGill just charging in, and that's the outfielder's ball, and she went ahead and got it.
So Leduc with 2 outs here, but now she has to face Tara Camilleri. Camilleri is 4 for 6 on the day. Had 2 RBIs in the first game and hit that big home run back in the 5th to right center. She takes ball 1 low, 1-0. Singled and scored in the 2nd. LeDuc winds. Here's the pitch. In low to Camilleri, 2-0. Not enough to pitch to a big hitter like Camilleri when you're ahead in the count. And now LeDuc finds herself behind, 2-0. And the 2-0 is low, 3-0 to Camilleri. Have to think with a decent lead and 2 on with 2 outs, you might give Camilleri the green light here.
And by the same token, you think LeDuc probably pitching her carefully after being taken deep in the last at-bat.
She's had much more success against Hillary Redrup. So you're right, maybe the intentional walk, but that one comes across for a strike, 3-1. LeDuc trying to get out of the inning. Not let Humber extend that lead by any more than 4. Swing and a miss from Camilleri. The runners go on the ball in the dirt, and the runners move up a base each. So Pittock to 3rd, Gilliam to 2nd. Humber with 2 outs, but 2 in scoring position. The very dangerous Camilleri at the plate. Full count. LeDuc tries to warm up that hand. And now she'll come to the plate. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, but first base is open. And Camilleri up to first. The second time we've seen that today. Tough day for LeDuc. Gets the strikeout on the ball in the dirt. But Watson behind home plate can't come up with it. And Camilleri up to first.
Well, that's about the same as a walk because she swung at ball 4, so if she takes that pitch, she's at first base anyway. Now we're going to get a courtesy runner coming in here anyway. Looks like they're putting Gregoris back at first base.
So in steps Hillary Redrup. She is 0 for 1. Like you mentioned earlier, finds unconventional ways to reach base at least today. Today she's been on 3 times, twice via the walk, and once on a dropped 3rd strike.
Reached on 2 errors in game 1 as well.
Here she's got the bases loaded with 2 out. Humber looking to pad that lead. This one, though, a high fly ball. Looks like the left fielder's ball. McGill coming in. She'll make the play. That'll do it for Humber in the 6th. So we go to the 7th. Humber with a 7-3 lead.
Jeez. All right, half an inning, hopefully. That's it.
They don't play the bottom of the 7th. If I'm
Right. Wiki and Seto, is that?
Yeah, okay. Not that we would even know if there's a pinch hitter because...
Yeah, because they're not even wearing the uniform jerseys, but whatever. I guess that's why they, say big league broadcasters, they start in the minors, because, it'd probably be really easy for us to do a big league game, because everything would be set up, and we know all the players and stuff.
You've got, family history to talk, you've got so much more to talk about. You've got, a season's worth of work to get in.
Yeah, exactly. This is schedule, promos.
This game brought to you by Home Hardware.
Yeah, exactly. Challenge. All right. Oop, wrong one. So Humber 3 outs away from sweeping this twin bill. Ahead 7-3 as we go to the top of the 7th. Amanda Vandegraff looking to close things out. She'll face Sarah Bell to start this top of the 7th. And Bell promptly hits one hard on the ground, but right to Abby Hill. Over to Redrup, and quickly one pitch and one out here in the 7th.
That is quick and out, as you'll see. I'd like to remind you that we're right back at it tomorrow. Humber with a couple of makeup games against the Seneca Sting. Those take place here, Wildwood Park. If you can't join us at the ballpark, you can find the games online at humberhawks.ca.
Courtney Leckwicki, the batter, foul tips it for strike one. She's 0 for 3, did have an RBI on a ground out in the 5th inning. As Mohawk pushed across its first 2 runs of the game. This one popped up foul territory. Redrup over to make the catch. And 2 outs here in the 7th, and the Hawks 1 out away from sweeping this twin bill.
Nice play there by Hillary Redrup to read that ball off the bat and get over and make the play.
It's been a good day for Humber on these foul pop-ups all around the diamond. And so the last hope for the Mohawk Mountaineers will be Natasha Pacetto. She's 2 for 3, had an RBI double in her last at-bat in the 5th. Well-hit ball into the gap. Pacetto just trying to keep this thing going. Mohawk shut out in the first game. Gotten 3 here in game 2. First pitch way high, 1-0 on Natasha Pacetto, third baseman. If she can reach, Amy Leduc, the pitcher, would follow. Vandegraff giving up a run on 2 hits last inning. It's her first inning of work. Has gotten 2 quick outs here in the top of the 7th. The 1-0 pitch bounces in the dirt, so it's 2-0 now on the batter Pacetto. Bree Donaldson went 5, gave up 2 runs on 7 hits. No walks, 2 strikeouts. Vandegraff in relief, as the umpire will dust off home plate. No professional courtesy there.
Good sign for Humber heading into the playoffs. They've had some trouble getting consistent performances behind Miranda Pearson, but Donaldson and Vandegraff have had very good weekends.
And so Vandegraff deals, and it is low, 3-0 now on Natasha Pacetto. With 2 outs and nobody on, you hate to extend the game via a walk. But she is behind in the count, 3-0. And the 3-0 misses well high, so a 4-pitch walk to Natasha Pacetto. That keeps the game alive. And it'll be Amy Leduc, the pitcher, to bat. Leduc 0 for 3. And she has pitched all 12 innings to this point for Mohawk. And this first pitch is hit in the air in the left center field. It's going to drop in between Stoberman and Gregoris. A single for Amy Leduc. Pacetto up to second. And now, all of a sudden, Mohawk 1 batter away from getting the tying run to the plate.
We talked about how quickly things can change in a softball game. Amy Leduc helping her own cause there with a single. Trying to make things interesting here in the top of the 7th.
So Danielle Watson will be the batter. If she can reach, TK Dockstader would be the tying run. First pitch to Watson is outside, 1-0. Nobody warming for the Hawks in their bullpen. So right now, this game belongs to Amanda Vandegraff. 2 quick outs, but all of a sudden, 1 batter away from the tying run coming up. That pitch is low, and it's 2-0.
Vandegraff all around home plate.
Watson is 1 for 3, reached on an error in the 2nd, singled and scored to start the 6th. This pitch is high, and it's 3-0, and that's going to prompt a visit to the mound from catcher Tara Camilleri. Just trying to settle down Amanda Vandegraff, who is in danger with 1 more pitch of loading the bases and bringing the potential tying run to the plate.
Good timing on the mound visit from Camilleri. You do have the tying run on deck, but right now, no time to panic. You do have 2 outs. You have a 4-run lead. Just settle down and throw strikes.
And you would think taking maybe even 2 pitches, Watson. She takes, and it's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So after 2 outs and nobody on, a walk, a single, and another walk, and TK Dockstader, the designated hitter, is going to stand in representing the potential tying run in a game that Humber once led 6-0, and Dwayne Bowles is going to head to the mound to have a chat with Vandegraff. Boy, things have gotten pretty dicey here all of a sudden. Game that looked to be easily in the bag for Humber. Not the case.
And I think the message here is let your defense make a play behind you. Giving up 2 walks in the inning. a couple of runners on for free. Your defense has been so good all weekend, really. So just come into these hitters and let your team pick you up behind you.
All right, so here's Dockstader, and the first pitch is in the dirt, 1-0. And that's 5 straight out of the strike zone, thrown by Amanda Vandegraff. Potential tying run at the plate with the bases loaded here in the 7th. Humber leading 7-3, the 1-0 pitch, and there's a called strike, 1-1. So Vandegraff finally finding the strike zone there. And a big pitch to Dockstader, didn't want to fall behind 2-0. Instead, it's 1-1. Vandegraff working quickly. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is outside, 2-1. If Dockstader can reach, Steph McGill would bat next. 2-1 on TK Dockstader. Vandegraff's pitch called, strike 2, 2-2. And Amanda Vandegraff now 1 pitch away from ending this game as things have gotten interesting. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is in the dirt, ball 3, and the count is full.
All kinds of yelling around the infield. Mountaineers cheering on their hitter. Humber infielders cheering on Amanda Vandegraff.
Here we go. Payoff pitch. Swinging a liner out to left. Stoverman over. She makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Mohawk threatens in the 7th, but Humber able to hang on, and they sweep this doubleheader. They win this one by a score of 7-3. And a good day for the Humber Hawks, putting up 17 runs over the 2 games. Got a little dicey there in the 7th, Paul, but Amanda Vandegraff able to finish things off.
Second game was a lot closer than I think Humber wanted it to be. You're right, Vandegraff does a good job. Walked a couple of hitters, but then showed some composure. A couple of good pitches there to TK Dockstader, and Natalie Stoverman comes in, makes the final out, and Humber can go home happy with a 2-game sweep here against the Mountaineers.
So the win goes to Bree Donaldson. She goes 5 innings, giving up 2 runs on 7 hits. Miranda Pearson was fantastic in the first game. Humber sweeps the Twin Bill. They'll be right back at it again tomorrow. Hope you'll join us as Humber takes on Seneca for a pair. For Paul McGowan, I'm Michael Seff. Thanks for listening to Humber Hawks Softball. You want to take a picture of the scorecard?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, all right. I haven't tallied anything up, but you can probably just try and... Yeah.